Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar says India is the most favoured destination for investment and opportunities in the world. Confers Shilp Guru and National Awards for Handicrafts in New Delhi. Political campaign heats up for the first phase of assembly polls in Gujarat. Anti-COVID lockdown protest spreads to Beijing, Shanghai and many big cities across China. 53rd International Film Festival of India in Goa to conclude this evening. And in FIFA World Cup today, Cameroon takes on Serbia while South Korea clashes with Ghana. Brazil to lock horns with Switzerland. And now the news in detail. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar today gave away Shilp Guru and National Awards to master craftspersons for 2017, 18 and 19 at a function in New Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, the Vice President congratulated the artists, saying that they are the cultural ambassadors of the country whose artifacts show the cultural depth of India. He said due to its creativity, Indian handicrafts are most sought after in the world. He asserted that the rise of the country is unstoppable and India is the most favoured destination in terms of investment and opportunities in the world.
India is on the rise as never before. Rise of India is unstoppable and we are the most favoured destination globally for investment and opportunity. जो कल्पना नहीं की वो हासिल हुआ है, इसमें आपका योगदान है. कुछ ही माह पहले we became the 5th largest global economy in the world. जो सोच नहीं सकते थे पहले, वो जमीनी हकीकत है. And I am very confident by end of the decade we will be the 3rd largest economy on a global horizon.
On the occasion, Union Textile Minister Piyush Goyal said India is one of the major handicraft hubs of the world and its handicrafts export is increasing continuously. In Gujarat, political leaders of all the parties are leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters, as only one day is left for the campaigning to end for the first phase of polling. Senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the BJP's poll campaign. Mr. Modi addressed an election rally at Palitana in Bhavnagar district today. During the day, Mr. Modi is scheduled to address 3 more rallies at Anjar in Kutch, Jamnagar and Rajkot. Senior party leaders including Home Minister Amit Shah, Smriti Irani, Parshottam Rupala, Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma are also campaigning in favour of party candidates today. On the other hand, Congress's National President Mallikarjun Kharge, who is campaigning in the state today, criticized the Gujarat model of development. Addressing a press conference at Ahmedabad, Mr. Kharge hit out at the ruling party for the increasing government death during COVID-19 pandemic and the rising inflation. He is also scheduled to address election rallies in Mehsana and Ahmedabad. Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann are also campaigning in the state. Meanwhile, the Election Commission of India has announced an ex-gratia of 15 lakh rupees each to the kin of the 2 Jawans of the Indian Reserve Battalion. The Jawans were killed in an accidental firing during election duty at Porbandar in Gujarat. On the other hand, the Election Commission has set up a polling booth for only one voter in the Gir forest of Somnath district in the state. This booth has been set up for Mahant Haridas Udasin of Baneshwar Mahadev Temple, located in Banej in the dense jungles of Gir. Apart from this, 7 more polling booths have been set up for tribal voters in the Gir forest area. More from our correspondent.
Mahant Haridas is a voter of Una constituency. For his voting, a team of 10 people travelled 25 kilometers to reach the polling booth. The polling booth is set up in the Forest Department office near the temple. The Election Commission also set up booths here for Lok Sabha and Panchayati Raj elections. Earlier, Guru of Mahant Haridas, Bharat Das used to be the only voter from here, but he passed away. Mobile phones do not work in the dense forest, hence the wireless systems of forest department is used. Due to the fear of animals, no candidate of any party come to Mahant Haridas for campaigning. Despite this, Mahant Haridas always participates in the Festival of Democracy by using his voting rights. With Jitendra Dwivedi from Somnath, Aparna Khun, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will co-chair the 4th India-France Annual Defence Dialogue with the French Minister of Armed Forces, Sébastien Lecornu, in New Delhi this afternoon. Mr. Lecornu is on a 2-day visit to India. As part of the annual defence dialogue, both the ministers will hold wide-ranging talks including operational defence ties, counter-terrorism, maritime security in the Indo-Pacific region, and industrial and technological partnerships in line with India's Atmanirbhar Bharat policy. Mr. Lecornu is also scheduled to meet External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The 4th edition of the Armed Forces Flag Day Corporate Social Responsibility Conclave is being organized in New Delhi tomorrow. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be the chief guest at the event. A new website for the Armed Forces Flag Day Fund will be launched by the Defence Minister on the occasion. The new website is an interactive and user-friendly portal developed to promote online contribution to Armed Forces Flag Day Fund. Mr. Singh will also release the anthem for this year's promotional campaign for the Armed Forces Flag Day and felicitate the prominent CSR contributors. India-Malaysia Joint Military Exercise Hari Mau Shakti 2022 started at Pulai Klang in Malaysia from today. The military exercise will culminate on the 12th of next month. In a bilingual live phone-in program, Public Speak tonight, we will bring you a live discussion with Kiran Gopal Vaska, Director of National Health Authority, on Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission and Ayushman Bharat Health Account. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on Ayushman Bharat Health Account or Aabha Card, registration procedures, benefits, and other queries related to the digital health ID card. Listeners can ask the questions from 9:30 p.m. onwards on telephone numbers 011-2371-7106 and 011-2331-4444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. India's milk production has registered a monumental growth in the last 8 years as it has increased by 83 million tons. In 2013-14, the production was 138 million tons, which has increased to 221 million tons in 2021-22. Reacting to it, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said a vibrant dairy sector is also a great way to further strengthen Nari Shakti. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today held a pre-budget consultation with the stakeholders of labour organisations. She is also scheduled to have a meeting with the Economist Group this evening. Earlier, the minister had meetings with representatives from the social sector, captains from industries, and experts in infrastructure and climate change, and experts in agriculture and agro-processing industry. She also held a pre-budget consultation with the state and union territory finance ministers. Meanwhile, the government has invited ideas and suggestions from people for the Union Budget 2023-24. It urged people to share their ideas and suggestions that can help transform India into a global economic powerhouse with inclusive growth. The nation pays homage to social reformer Mahatma Jyotiba Phule on his death anniversary today. A great social reformer and a visionary thinker, Jyotirao Phule was a pioneer of women's education and a crusader against social evils like untouchability in the country. He passed away on this day in 1890. In the run-up to India assuming the G20 presidency, a special briefing of the heads of missions and members of international organizations was held at Swaraj Dweep in Andaman and Nicobar Islands on Saturday. More than 40 delegates, including G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant and Chief Coordinator Harshvardhan Shringla, attended the meeting. The delegates were apprised of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of India's G20 presidency as reflected in the theme Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or One Earth, One Family, One Future. G20 Chief Coordinator Harshvardhan Shringla briefed about the extensive arrangements for the meetings across India and facilitation for the participation of delegates. In China, protests against strict COVID restrictions and continuous lockdowns have spread to many big cities, including the capital Beijing and the financial hub Shanghai. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in the capital Beijing yesterday night against President Xi's zero COVID policy. The protests continued in Shanghai for the second night over the weekend, shouting anti-government slogans and calling for an end to COVID lockdowns. A report.
Protesters in Shanghai again clashed with police last night as protests have flared and spread to several cities and universities, which started in response to the anger after a deadly fire killed 10 people in Urumqi, Xinjiang, apparently due to strict lockdowns. This wave of civil disobedience is unprecedented in mainland China since President Xi Jinping assumed power a decade ago as frustrations mounts over his signature zero-COVID policy. Anshuman Mishra, AIR News, Beijing.
In Belgium, the police detained a dozen people and made one arrest last evening after Morocco's victory over Belgium in the World Cup football match in Qatar triggered riots in several places. A car and some electric scooters were set on fire. The riots took place in several places across the Belgian capital, where dozens of soccer fans, some draped in Moroccan flags, clashed with the police. The police said that situation is now under control and preventive patrols remain in place in the concerned areas. The air quality in Delhi was recorded in the very poor category this morning. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, the air quality index today stood at 328, which is considered as very poor. In the morning, different parts of the city witnessed a layer of smog. Yesterday too, the air quality in the national capital was in a very poor category. The 53rd International Film Festival of India, IFFI, will come to an end in Goa today. The closing ceremony will be held at the Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium near Panaji in the evening. A report.
Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur, Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Dr. L. Murugan and Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant will be present on the occasion. A host of film personalities will also grace the occasion. They include Akshay Kumar, Asha Parekh, Ayushmann Khurrana, Manushi Chillar, Isha Gupta, Rana Dagubati and Anand Rai. Telugu megastar Chiranjeevi will be given the Indian Film Personality of the Year 2022 award at the closing ceremony. Polish film Perfect Number, directed by Krzysztof Zanussi, is the closing film of this year's IFFI. A number of awards including the Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Male and Female and Special Jury Award will be presented at the closing ceremony. Rahul Golikar, AIR News, Goa.
Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant today flagged off a campaign to clean the beaches of the state. A function to launch the campaign Goa Coastline Cleanathon was held at Miramar Beach in Panaji this morning. In the FIFA Football World Cup 2022, 3 matches will be played today. Cameroon will take on Serbia in Group G match at the El Janoud Stadium in Qatar at 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In the second match of the day, South Korea will clash with Ghana in Group H match at Education City Stadium at 6:30 p.m. And in the last match of the day, Brazil will lock horns with Switzerland in Group G match at Stadium 974 in Ras Abu Aboud, Doha at 9:30 p.m. Earlier last night, Croatia knocked out Canada 4-1 at the Khalifa International Stadium at Doha in Qatar. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar says India is the most favoured destination for investment and opportunities in the world, confers Shilp Guru and National Awards for Handicrafts in New Delhi. Political campaign heats up for the first phase of assembly polls in Gujarat. Anti-COVID lockdown protest spreads to Beijing, Shanghai and many big cities across China. 53rd International Film Festival of India in Goa to conclude this evening, and in FIFA World Cup today, Cameroon takes on Serbia while South Korea clashes with Ghana, Brazil to lock horns with Switzerland. And with that we end the midday news.